So if I was starting Exeter again, I would get involved with extracurricular activities from day one. I've been very involved with mooting and debating and bar trips in my final year, and I didn't really know that those things were available to me in my first year because of the huge transition to university in itself. So yes, I would start with those extracurriculars in my first year if I was doing it again.
If I could go back in time and start my whole experience again, I would ensure that I would be really organised and make sure that I'm applying for training contracts from my second year. So to do that, I would need to have a strong 2-1, so that's always a priority for me. And I would ensure that I'm also doing the best that I can to get involved with all of Bracton Law Society's opportunities. Not only do they help you make friends on your course and feel more comfortable, but they also have a lot of pro bono opportunities that you can get involved with, and they look absolutely fantastic on your CV.
If I had to do anything differently, I think I would have probably had more engagement with the law school academics from a much earlier time. So I personally only started to get to know the staff and academics of the law school in my second or third year, and I think it was one of the most memorable experiences that I had. They are extremely friendly, they give really good tips, and they give you a very good insight into what the law is and what the practice of the law is as well. Yeah, I would definitely be more engaged with the law school from an earlier time.
So go to your lectures and go to your seminars, and my biggest tip would be to get into a good routine and with your work and your social life, and make sure you have a good balance. But at the end of the day, there really is no substitution for hard work.
Everyone is different, so everyone works in a different way. Originally, before I came to university, I would find that the best way for me to revise would be to gain more information from wider reading, but I would absolutely recommend that people stick to the syllabus. It's there for a reason. The reading that has been recommended by the lecturers is the reading that they would prefer you to read, and there's a reason why it has been recommended. And absolutely ensure that you know everything inside out in the syllabus, and also don't find the lecturers intimidating. I know they're absolutely fantastic and they're superb at what they do, so they come across as really intellectual, which they are, but they do want to help you, so no question is too stupid to ask, so just make sure that you ask everything you need to.
I think my biggest tip for future law students would be to understand that quality is always more important than quantity. In your time at law school, you will meet a lot of friends and who would be studying many hours in the library, or you meet people who would tell you that you have to ensure that you put in 4 or 5 hours after every lecture to catch up on everything. Personally, I didn't do any of that. I just ensured that every time I studied or I looked into my books, they were all quality time. So I ensured that I understood what I was reading. I asked questions about them, so I didn't have to go back to them 2 or 3 times. So it's all about efficiency rather than just looking at the books and putting in the hours just for the sake of it. So I think that's probably my biggest tip.
The thing I've enjoyed most about studying is who I have met through my studies. I've made some really great friends at Exeter in the law school, and meeting the lecturers who are always willing to help has been great.
I have enjoyed various things about studying, so I'm quite passionate about law. I find it very interesting, so that's a given. But my whole experience at university, one of the biggest things for me has been how much of a close-knit community it is. When you originally come here, you think, oh my God, I'm a small fish in a big pond and I don't know anyone. But after a few months, you find that you have a lot of friends on your course and everyone is just here to support you. So I think that that's one of the biggest advantages for me at the University of Exeter, is how much of a close-knit community it is.
I think what I've enjoyed most about studying the law, simply put, is the law itself. Most people think of the law as a very boring, very dry, very complicated thing, but it doesn't have to be that way. I think as a student you have to be open-minded, be inquisitive, try to explore the law and try to explore what it actually means, rather than just to study it because you were told to study. So I think that's probably what I enjoyed the most, trying to find out more about what the law means, and obviously through this process I've managed to get quite a lot of good insights and build really good relationships with my teachers and lecturers as well. So I think this is what I've enjoyed the most.